Hello and welcome. This is the winning match for the highest base experience in a carrier during the Grand Naval Battle's first week event. For the second week I am holding a contest for guides. 200 diamonds for the best guide in each of the ship classes. On top of that you can also win 200 diamonds for the best replay in a tier 5 match or lower. If you want to know more, then click on the link in the description of the video. Also, I would like to ask you again, if you are interested in taking part in a skin modding contest for ships, then please let me know in the comments. So, moving on to the match, the winning submission here is by Saekar in the tier 7 US premium carrier, the Saipan. He named his submission aptly by saying pay to win confirmed because he did get a lot more experience than you normally do in carriers. But it has more to do with the actual game than you know, it being premium. Anyways, because this is a carrier submission, I will be moving the camera around myself because if I follow his view, this is what happens. When he moves the camera, everything is delayed and it's essentially unwatchable. So this is why I will be moving the camera around myself. You should check out the minimap, because I will select the planes and you will see the orders. Anyways, he is against tier 7 Hiryu, and his first move was to go towards the middle to find the enemy destroyers and to drop on them. He engages the enemy fighters with his fighters, and now he decides to go for the destroyer drop, especially this Minakaze, because this Minakaze is essentially stationary. While the first drop was quite a miss, second one is a bit better because, he adjusted the aim, and since the Minakaze was next to an island, he couldn't turn anywhere. And 2 hits and a kill. Okay, so he took his other fighter squadron to follow the enemy carrier's dive bombers and uses strafe to shoot them down. So, well, so much for Hiryu torpedo bombers. These are in the anti-air range of a Fusa and a Cleveland, so they eventually died, but they did their part by taking care of at least one full squadron. So now the last squadron, or the fighter squadron he still has left, is engaging the enemy carrier. The enemy fighters, but he has no Maha here, on top of the fact that he has stronger planes. Although it seems he is getting really bad RNG, which is why his fighters are losing really badly. By the way, the other annoying thing is that there's replay bugs where the icons get stuck, and I've had to restart this replay like 4 or 5 times now already, because at some point during the replay the icons simply got stuck. Anyways, the torpedo bombers have recycled, so now it's time to go towards the enemies again to strike something. Remember that this is a standard battle, not domination, so not attacking is usually the right choice, especially because it gives your carriers time to do their magic, so it's beneficial for the winning carriers side. Especially if there are so many destroyers around, carriers have a good time killing them. Okay, he's trying a drop on a Kiev, which I think is incredibly difficult to do. Because, Kievs are so fast, I find it really difficult to hit. But somehow he pulled it out of a hat.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
The enemy Fusa has got 2 kills as well, which is rather surprising, especially at this point. Friendly Colorado Erdbeerchen took quite many torpedoes there from the Kiev, but still okay. Okay, so the next drop seems to be headed towards this Königsberg. Fighters are sitting in the middle and doing nothing all that interesting. So let's follow this torpedo bomber around. Okay, the fighters aren't going anywhere. I'll just keep them all selected, this way you can see on the minimap where the orders are given. This torpedo bomber strike seems to be really good on the Königsberg. I think the last torpedo will miss now, but I think the first 2 should hit nicely. And they did. That's a good 14,000 damage. Okay, these fighters are using their strafing ability, although this Ognawai shot one of the fighters down. By the way, I'm rather surprised that this isn't like a midway captain with the anti-air, the air supremacy captain skill, because that would make it a lot easier to have a really good match in the Saipan. The interesting thing is that the Saipan doesn't have many replacements, but because the squadrons are really small, it's not that big of a deal usually. Anyways, this squadron is going again after the Königsberg. If he hits another 2 torpedoes, this Königsberg should be history. His fighter squadron up here is trying to chase the enemy dive bombers down to essentially neutralize what the enemy carrier is doing. And the Königsberg is down. Okay, let's see what the fighters are up to now. The other interesting thing with the Saipan is that because the planes are also higher tier, you have much faster speeds on the planes. And you only have to deal with 4 squadrons, so it's not that hard to do. I think this squadron should be dead, although they might kill the enemy squadron as well. His fighters are cycling the other ones, the ones that are not dying, although this is above a Myoko, so this fight is actually pretty beneficial. Interestingly enough, he hasn't given an attack order on this one because it was focused on the squadron that died, and because the Myoko's fighter plane or some other fighter plane was blocking this, they didn't follow up on the attack either. But anyways, another torpedo bomber drop going on for the Ognawai. Somehow, Eritbergen has managed to get himself into a bad situation again, in close quarters with the destroyer. And I think this time he is going to pay the price. And bye, Colorado. I don't know how you did it, but somehow you managed to get twice into a poor situation. Unfortunately, this Ognawai did not die. The Saipan is going after these fighters. I think it would be a really good time to strafe them right now. And that's exactly what Saekar does, because this is just 3 plane kills, and at this tier it's certainly possible to deplane an enemy carrier. At least it's very easy. Okay, now it's kind of a blind drop onto this destroyer. It's kind of because he more or less knows where the DD is, but you know, wow, and the DD ate the torpedo. The thing is that the torpedoes are rather, the width between 2 of them is rather large, so it's entirely possible to miss completely. Anyways, these dive bombers want to do a drop on the Congo, and they do it, but they in return get slaughtered by Saekar's planes. I would just strafe them down, or maybe actually not. I'm not even sure which is the right action, because if you engage, you risk the rear gunners getting good RNG and just killing one of your planes. And you spend about the same amount of ammunition, so it might have been better to just strafe. Less risky. So at this point, somehow, even though Saekar has 4 kills, the enemy team is still in the lead by 2 ships. I don't know how this happens, but somehow it did. Anyways, it seems the next fight is around here. These fighter planes are going to have a battle, but this Congo's anti-air should help. And the fact that Saekar's planes are simply superior. This does mean that he can't intercept these dive bombers who are going to drop onto the Congo. Seems the next action is going to be here, next to this New York and Colorado. These torpedo bombers are probably going to drop on the New York. At least that's what I would do, to finish him off, and then if the second squadron... I don't know about this drop. I think it's a bit too close. Let's check. I think this one isn't gonna arm in time, and it didn't, and that one didn't either. So fail drop right there. His fighter squadron around the Congo actually died because the enemy brought 2 squadrons. So at this point he has to cycle both fighter squadrons, and let's see if he can actually manage to pull a drop off on this one. Remember, the Saipan's planes are faster, so it should be possible. But still, the enemy has a 2-ship lead again. Okay, one of the planes got shot down by the New York's anti-air. These are supposed to be strong planes, yet a New York was capable of shooting one of them down. And now the fighters are gonna kill the rest of the squadron. Okay, so what Saekar wanted to do was defend this Congo, but unfortunately it's a bit too late for that, so it's time to focus on killing the enemy fighters, because if he does kill them, he will deplane the enemy fighters. Also, the enemy team has a 3-ship lead now. Wow, this is a crazy game. I don't understand what the enemy team is doing. Saekar has 4 kills, yet they are 3 ships down. His team is letting them down really hard. But I think he should be able to, he's gonna kill these fighters definitely. And he should be able to kill this New York without too many issues then. This Cleveland might be a bad target. I would start thinking about moving the ship actually, just in case. Okay, focuses on this fight between the fighters. I think this is a good choice to follow those dive bombers instead of using the number 2 squadron to follow up. It tries to strafe, but unfortunate. What? That seemed like the strafe missed though, but somehow it still killed the planes. By the way, if you want my opinion, then this is the superior loadout for the Saipan. Should go 2 fighters and 2 torpedo bombers. Anyways, I think this should do it for the New York, and I imagine the second drop is then going to be on the Omaha. Because, bye-bye, New York. At least if it takes that one. Yep. And this is Kraken Unleashed. Took a while, but at least considering how good of the start was, but it doesn't really matter. As long as it eventually gets there. Okay, this fighter plane was annoying, but I think it wouldn't have made a difference. Okay, it made a difference. It probably would have been 2 hits, but regardless, 1 torpedo was enough to sink the Omaha. So now the planes are cycling again. Let's check out what's happening here. Mioka against Cleveland. Mioka should win the fight, but it seems she is showing more of the broadside to Cleveland, so it could go either way, I guess. Although I think the Cleveland is actually firing HE, so the Mioka might not actually lose. Although if the Mioka is firing AP, then, well, probably is going to lose. Depends on whether the Cleveland wants to show broadside or not. Saekar's plan is to come up here to help this Mioka out, his last teammate. Because it doesn't matter, can't get, at least it seemed to be. It doesn't matter because you can't get, also planes incoming. Because you can't get, what's it called, Solar Warrior anyway, because they have 3 ships left. But the planes aren't going to be in time. The fighters are going to be in the range before the dive bombers drop. The torpedo bomber drop is going for the Colorado, who managed to unstuck himself from the island, but it took way too long. Okay, it seems the Mioka did win the fight against the Cleveland did win the fight against the Mioka, and it seems the enemy carrier is deplaned. From fighters anyway. I would focus also these dive bombers with my carrier and try to use my fighters on these. Okay, never mind, I would use fighters on the torpedo bombers, but at this point just 1 strafe is gonna mean that bye-bye torpedo bombers, although if you need to actually get to strafe them. Saekar, the fuck are you doing? This is not how you defend your ship. Luckily he did turn into the torpedoes and only took 20,000 damage. At this point he needs to make sure that he doesn't get focused too much, because this Colorado is definitely gonna attack. And he didn't do his torpedo bomber drop actually. But fortunately the enemy does not have any fighters left, so it should be okay. He does a really long range drop on the Colorado, but because the Colorado was slowing down, I think he might actually take all 3 of them. Oh, never mind. Only 2. Only. Which is still 66% of the drop. He should try to kill this fighter. Take 1 squadron over here and the other one leave it around your ship, in my opinion. Okay, never mind. I guess both squadrons will be here to defend. And just have to outplay this fighter plane. Remember, game's still not over. Saekar's still not dead, although this Cleveland is going to be scary. He needs to get the planes out of the way. Oh, the Anti-Air actually took care of that squadron. Okay, that's good. At this point, he is dodging shells left and right. Also, check out all these medals indeed. Jesus. First Blood, Devastating Strikes, Kraken, Confederate, Clear Skies, High Caliber. Anyways, the torpedo bombers are dropping on the Colorado. I think it's another 2 hits. Excellent. And flooding. I think it's the first one that got the flooding, because there is the torpedo protection is in the middle of the ship, not at the front. Anyways, he's running low on the replacements, but you know, the Hirio is out of replacements. Interestingly, because of the way he moved his ship, he's actually going to be in the enemy cap before they are in his. So that should give him a good opportunity. What he needs to do is kill this Colorado with his torpedo bombers and use the fighters to defend against these torpedo bombers. He's actually rather lucky. This Colorado has taken forever and he still hasn't killed him. Yep, Colorado should be toast here. Sleeping with the fishes. Okay, this means the threats are these torpedo bombers. Are you gonna strafe? Nope. Actually, wow. I'm very impressed by this. Managed to not strafe one another's planes, yet use 2 strafes. That's very well played. That's something I have not been able to pull off. And at this point, it's the Hirio with probably no planes and the Cleveland. I will try to drop on the Cleveland first. He only needs 1 torpedo hit. Unfortunately, wait, actually no. The Cleveland should have turned into the island, just like that. That would have saved him. But he didn't, so bye Cleveland. Or maybe, wow, never mind. Well done, Cleveland. Very good dodge. I did not see that one coming. Unfortunately, the enemy carrier, for you, still has planes. I would actually move my ship at full speed into this cap zone. Although I think the Hirio might want to come in for a ram. What do you mean still won't be enough? You gotta believe, man. You gotta believe. Okay, so this fighter squadron now definitely is gonna kill the Cleveland. Unless the Cleveland turns into it, but he didn't for some reason. I don't know why. Cleveland, I guess, doesn't like winning, so bye Cleveland. And now it's just the Hirio left, without planes. And the Saipan still has planes, also you should be running away from him. Full speed, run away. You do not want to get close to the Hirio because he wants to drop on you. Come on, Saipan, stop it. Saekar, stop playing with fire. Run away. Run as fast as you can. Also, the Hirio is named Hacker Pro XD. Secondary set him on fire. Unfortunately, I would immediately use damage control party. But he got another fire off. This RNG on this Hirio is crazy. Like, crazy, crazy, crazy. But it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it should be okay. Saekar still has his planes left. His damage control party got rid of the fire. Although if he gets set on fire again, he is fucked. I do wonder why he's doing manual drops though. I would definitely do automatic drops to have as many torpedoes as possible hitting the Hirio, because this one torpedo just missed completely. Okay, run away in a straight line. Don't give a shit about anything else, just run the fuck away from him. Okay, this is a decent drop. Both of them should hit. And the Hirio should be flooded, so the Hirio isn't fast enough anymore to follow up. Or maybe she isn't flooded. No, she is definitely flooded. So all you need to do is just run away, and you will be outside of secondary range, and you don't have to worry about the Hirio. Damn, man, this was scary for a moment. Should have turned around and run away a lot earlier. Regardless, though, this is a rather definite victory for our friendly Saipan, and I think the Hirio is going to expire before the timer runs out, so very well played, Saekar, with your Saipan, and 8 kills. Correction, make that 9 kills, because, you know, he ended up actually killing the Hirio as well at the end. So, this was like my words. I do not have the vocabulary to express how amazing this game was. It would be rather interesting to see this from, the perspective of the actual carrier, but because replays do not work properly, what can we do? Anyways, this match, he got 800,000 credits, 23,000 experience, which is mostly multipliers, of course, 1,100 free experience, and the medals he got was Confederate, First Blood, Kraken Unleashed, 2 devastating strikes, Clear Skies, and High Caliber. This is so many medals. This is 7 medals. This is a really impressive match. He did 184,000 damage, 26 torpedo hits, 65 plane shutdown against the Hiryu. A Hiryu only has 72 planes, by the way. And he got 9 kills. 9 kills. This is an incredibly impressive result, especially because it's in a tier 7 ship, so you have less planes, etc., etc. So, team score, 4,377 base experience. The reason why this is so damn impressive is because hitting higher tier ships gives you more experience. But the top tier ship in this match was tier 7. And the majority of the ships were tier 5. However, the thing is that because his allies got so little experience, as you can see, number 2 on his team is almost 4 times less experience than he got. So this essentially means that all the experience was up for grabs in this match. Like if you take the 4 allies combined on his team, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, you still have less experience than what Saekar alone got. Like, this is a crazy result compared to his team. His team definitely let him down, and he played so well to pull a win out of the hat. And if you look at the bottom half of the team, he literally has more experience than the entire bottom half of his team. What a crazy result. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's not like the enemy team's bottom half has that much of a greater result, mainly because Saekar just killed them before they could do anything. Okay, so the details tab tells us that it was 183,000 damage plus 897 in a 19-minute 55-second battle. 5 seconds before the end, he managed to sink the Hiryu, who almost killed him. He shot down 22 dive bombers, 22 torpedo bombers, and 21 fighters. What a nice split as well. This is a really impressive match to me. And thank you very much, Saekar, for submitting this. This is a career match that it's really difficult to find a better one. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.